condemn Israel and that you need to join with us to bring about a Palestinian state. This is the only path forward if we want to see stability in this region and stability for the whole world. We don't want this to happen in another 10 or 15 or 20 years and push the world again to borders of like a World War III. We don't want to do that. So it's in the best interest of the whole world that this is solved. And today we are doing this. We have a coalition of European countries, of countries around the world that are going to push for a two-state solution. This is not over. And Gaza, and no one's going to rebuild Gaza unless there's like strong commitment towards a two-state solution. And guess what? The Palestinians are not going to rebuild Gaza. They don't have the money to build Gaza. So the world is going to have to repay.
Shut up, you're racist.
Shut the fuck up, you slave donkey. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You're a trash slave.
Look out.
Why you guys bring this guy on?
Are you in am I in the Matrix?
I'm here.
He's a slave.
The United Nations have condemned Israel multiple times before October 7th. We have resolutions 242. I think that one condemns Israel pretty clear, but nothing happened, right? Because the United States gives their veto all the time to Israel, so they pretty much have the United States in their back pocket. I think that after October 7th, things are moving a bit faster, and countries are like, what the fuck? They really opened their eyes. But it's sad that it took 40,000 lives, if not even more than that.
It's more. It's almost 200,000, actually.
Yeah, actually 200,000. You understand what I mean? So that's a shame. It took so much life for other nations to see. But I know that for a fact that people, Europeans, Norway, France, and Spain, all these countries have finally united and see what these Zionist scumbags are all about.
We chased them.
So to add to the annexation, Smotrich actually came out last week. He wants to annex the West Bank, according to the Times of Israel. And then we have the Moshe Elon who said that what's happening over there is it's in the process of cleansing Gaza. So we got some testimonies from these people. Smotrich, by the way, is a finance minister part of the Likud party. And then we have this ex-Israeli defense minister, I believe he was an IDF chief commander. So,
yeah, Smotrich is actually from Serbia, and he has been convicted for terrorism. Funny, huh? he's looking for terrorists, and he's a terrorist himself. That's crazy.
And let's remember,
let me ask you guys, are you performing at your absolute highest level?
It's been weakened significantly, and there is division within Israel society. So it's not the Israel of pre-October 7, 2023, and it's not the Israel of Oslo either.
Oh, yep, it's not. I don't see how they recover unless there's a permanent solution in the area. I don't see how it's going to recover. It won't. No one's going to invest in Israel again, knowing that, Israel wasn't able to take out Hamas, wasn't able to take out Hezbollah, isn't able to deal with the Iranian threat. And not only that, but you're dealing with Islamist factions expanding in Syria on your border. It's only a matter of time. I wouldn't want to invest in Israel knowing all these facts. I don't know anybody who would.
Rude, I could bring you hold on. Rude, I could bring you up. You're gonna have to refrain from talking to Cynic, okay? You can't freaking interject every 2 seconds, because then this room goes sideways. I don't want to. This is a good room to go sideways.
I mean, we drop Mike, and you want to bring up Hampton?
No, I want to bring him up because look, we could use an opposite opinion.
Well, okay, then bring Mike. Bring someone with a pseudo-intellectual, not an idiot.
Okay, I brought Mike up as well. Okay, let's go.
There you go. The average IQ of the city just dropped in half.
Can I ask you something real quick? How do you feel about Cynic calling me a slave and the N-word last night. How do you feel about that?
Rude. How do you think we feel when you say that we're being nice to a Jew because she's saying things that we want to hear, as if, trying to perpetuate that we're some Jew killers and Jew haters, which ends up, causing us to become genocided.
We all fam.
Do you have any feelings towards that at all?
We all fam. In the club, we are all family. Are you racist? Do you know them? No. But in Declare, we all fam. What? In Declare, we all fam. In the club, we are all family. Are you racist? Do you know them? No. But in Declare, we all fam. What?
Stop. Tanner Fitzgerald.
Okay, maybe, right? Why wouldn't
he's not
in
lending
a better way?
Bitcoin, Christopher. I know he's not. I'm just saying he's front running. Tanner Fitzgerald is not either. But they're positioning themselves to actually be the bank to lend against. Do you agree with that?
I think what we got to do is we got to deal with the first issue, which is the actual protection of value, and how a company protects value for investors is through growth. And if MSTR, which it's on path to do, becomes the best, most efficient, because remember, right? This is what I was trying to explain to Jimmy the other day. Like, if NVIDIA borrows $1 billion, they now need to go and hire. They now need to go and hire engineers. They need to go and figure out how we're going to make these chips. And the payoff on that $1 billion of debt starts like in 2 years, 3 years. MSTR borrows $1 billion today. Tomorrow they own Bitcoin, and the value starts growing immediately. So it's more efficient than NVIDIA at growth. And as soon as people figure that out, it's over. I'm telling you, it's over. Right now, you're seeing share price go up a little bit. As soon as people figure out, it's the most efficient growth engine for wealth.
That's the beginning of Bitcoin destroying credit, because it's like you can't issue credit in a way that's going to outperform Bitcoin.
Listen, go play with your fucking 3D printed whatever the fuck.
Nobody give a fuck about that. That's not what he said. That was a very good explanation. Good job on it.
Yeah.
Especially
there's going to be a liquidity squeeze for capital for companies.
Nobody checking for you, Shapiro.
Good. But
I agree with you. I think that's the number one feature of Bitcoin. That it creates a squeeze and creates more competition.
Yeah. Well, because it forces innovation to actually get better. Right? We're no longer just going to fund. We're no longer just going to fucking fund 75 different mobile car taxi applications.
Yeah.
Right? There's going to be a winner, and everyone else is going to have to really do better in order to get that capital out of the Bitcoin growth engine. And that's good. I like it.
Actually, British, if we take that, we could extend that to say MicroStrategy fixes everything. You can take the Bitcoin argument and say MicroStrategy does that because it creates
MicroStrategy could fix capital markets for sure.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is fixed store value, right? And MicroStrategy could help fix capital markets.
But that's only if there's a quarterly rise in the Bitcoin price denominated in fiat. Because
are you one of Jimmy's friends? Like, who's this?
No. I'm not. I'm just saying. My question was, thought experiment, I guess, is when the next bear cycle starts, what does MicroStrategy look like with all the holdings on their balance sheet?
The question you have to ask is, fuck what that is. The real question is, what does the next bear market even look like?
It might not be one. I don't know.
By my assumption, based on your question, you're assuming that there's going to be another 70-80% Bitcoin dip. What if the Bitcoin dip is only 30%?
Well, I hope that's the case, but
No, but what if, right? Like, what if? You want to do a thought exercise? That's a more appropriate thought exercise when we're stepping into a company.
I agree with that, but what does that look like on a quarterly earnings call for MicroStrategy?
It looks like volatility, which is exactly what the bondholders want. That's what they need. They need volatility. And you know when people coming out with bullshit like, the convertible bonds, though that dilution hasn't been included and all this other shit that they come out with.
Right.
People don't realize, like, when you buy a bond and you're a bond trader, your job is to hedge the delta. So immediately you place a short position. That bond comes from maturity. You convert it into stock. You're axing out the short position and receiving the stock. It is a neutral position. So a lot of this dilution and all these other fucking questions people have, it's because they don't understand how financial markets work, how these products work, which is fine, right? That's fine. But the most appropriate question that I think there is what happens if there is another 80% bear market? And in that scenario, what happens is you refi the debt and keep it pushing, just like every other company.
Just like the U.S. government.
Exactly. You refi it. Right? Now let's look at this. Let's say, well, what if he can't refi it? Maybe he can't refi it at 0.5%. Do you think he could refi it if he offered 1.5%? I guarantee you he could.
Yeah.
Do you think he could refi it if he offered 3%? Guarantee you he could, right?
Yeah.
So there's not really a big cause of concern there. It's just...
But it's not that simple. I guess that's my other point. It's not that simple.
No, it is simple. That's the problem.
It is simple for...
It is simple.
Okay. But not people that are FOMOing in the master or MSTR.
It doesn't matter.
Robinhood.
It doesn't matter about those people, right? Like the
Okay.
retail sailor doesn't care about my day trades, right? Sailor is trying to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible. If everybody in the Twitter irresponsibly long group goes bankrupt tomorrow, Sailor does not give a shit about that.
Yeah.
Right. His job is to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible at whatever pace he deems right. And clearly the market trusts it.
And do you think his goal is to have more than the U.S. government at this point?
I don't care. That's irrelevant. My goal is that MSTR and the U.S. government both have 2 million coins each.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Let them get on with it. It doesn't matter, does it?
I guess not. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot of coins to buy the strongest materials in the world.
I mean, I had questions, like, in this tweet that I put out, like, you got people asking, like, oh my God, some of the most retarded shit. Like, it's even more retarded than what I've actually heard in this fucking room sometimes. It's like, what if Sailor dies tomorrow? Like, huh?
There's a board.
Like, what if the NAV drops below 1? Like, huh? But literally, the issues that people are having is they're very bullish on Bitcoin, but for some reason, that bullishness is making them bearish on MicroStrategy when the number one asset that drives MicroStrategy's volatility is the Bitcoin. So you go bullish on Bitcoin, but you're bearish on MicroStrategy. Make it make sense.
Okay, but British, let me maybe give it a perspective. We're bullish on Bitcoin, but as an engineer, classical engineer, the derivative would be an acceleration on speed, right? The acceleration and MicroStrategy, it's a gamble. You have to allocate that risk.
No. It's not a gamble. No, it's not a gamble. It is a different risk profile. So you've got to have a different allocation, right? I agree with that. But to use the word gamble is retarded, right? Because the underlying asset is the same.
I've been called retarded 14 times here. And
well, Jimmy's in the room, so obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. So not the gamble, but the different risk profile for that allocation should be different. And I think people were thinking, you know what? Bitcoin's fantastic. It looks good. Trump's in. We're going to have a Bitcoin reserve. Other countries are there's fucking what do you call it? Well, they're dedicating for other allocations. It's just MicroStrategy is the fast what do you call it? It's the Bitcoin BTCX basically is what it is. 2x, 3x, 10x. It's a derivative. Does that make sense?
You high? Of course it's a derivative, and everyone owning that knows it. I don't understand these questions that people are asking. It sounds dumb. Jeff, you need to take over.
Yo, I was calling him dumb for mad long until he wore me out.
I'm eating fresh like mozzarella. I'm fucking out of this one. Yeah,
What the fuck?
I had a bite there. Sorry.
I called him everything in the book, man. He's very resilient, this guy, Christopher.
Well, I've been here for a while. I like to get in these conversations because I'm trying to educate my family, and I'm coming at a perspective of complete.
Nigga, if you're in charge of educating your family's in trouble.
No, you're in charge of educating my family. And you have not been a really good teacher tonight, but you have been. Even Michael has been a good teacher, but not tonight. You know, it's just, I like to hear these perspectives because there's no authoritative figure that people in my family would say, well, what about this? What about this? And I'm like, you know what? I try to grab everything that's out there. I mean, I'm already committed, so it doesn't matter for me. I'm just saying, how do I come to a family over the holidays and protect them against fiat debasement? And I like to find out, you know, what other people are talking about.
Are you drunk right now? What's going on
maybe
here?
Maybe step one, you should stop absorbing losses.
Hey, Brendan, have you considered just getting a job at MicroStrategy? I bet you could do a lot of
their marketing department. Yeah.
Marketing, yeah.
I think I could actually help them. I think I could actually help them explain the fucking message.
Honestly,
By the way,
if they hired you, British, if they hired you, and I knew they were hiring you, I think I would like immediately buy some MicroStrategy just for them having you on board.
I mean,
listen, don't be sarcastic like that.
I know.
I'm not being sarcastic. I mean,
we would. No,
I bet.
Hey, British. So why didn't MicroStrategy issue any debt between what was it, like June of 21 until this year?
Because the volatility died, right? So they were issuing it, they were buying it, they were doing this, that, and the other. If the volatility on the asset dies, the market, obviously, the product is not enticing because the enticing part of the product is the underlying volatility of MicroStrategy. So, what is complicated about that? That's why I said.
So why won't the same thing happen in the next bear market? That's all I'm saying. They won't be able to issue the debt.
It might. No, it might. But the difference is that that's why he's turning on the jets now to acquire as much Bitcoin as he can rapidly.
Possible. You see their exposure
rapidly.
It sort of makes sense, David, because they had a lot less Bitcoin on its balance sheet, right?
Yeah. They had
a
less
lot
volatility.
more correlated. Yeah, if it's a lot more correlated, even if the price goes down and there's a bear market, being, I guess, strongly pegged to Bitcoin, which it is right now, they'd still be able to generate a lot more volatility during next bear markets than they have. So the logic actually checks out when you sort of think about it.
Of course it does. I
don't think it does. So I think they would have kept doing it if they could have. So why did the volatility go down in the last bear market? Because they were entirely leveraged to Bitcoin.
You got to remember, David, you got to forget all of that question. Let's just look at from a bare bones perspective. It wasn't a sophisticated product. You didn't have BlackRock standing behind Bitcoin. You didn't have any of these things. Like if anyone thinks that MSTR just went from borrowing 800 million, $1 billion here and there to just randomly just getting $42 billion, right? Without BlackRock standing behind Bitcoin, the underlying asset, you're dumb, right? This is a move that's happening at this point now. It is much more proven. The business model is proven. People are real serious people standing behind it now. So now more capital is coming from it. It's being taken as a serious trade. It wasn't in the last cycle. And we can all admit that. It was not. it was still being seen as like
I think
Bitcoin.
this whole idea that to
ETF.
continue to issue these through the bear market is pointless. Maybe they can, but it seems really unlikely. They would have done it if they could have done it. They weren't able to this last time. I don't think anything has fundamentally changed about that. They were able to issue the 0% convertible bonds back in 2021, and they weren't able to.
BlackRock is in the game now. What are you talking about? The asset
That's
is
about
now
okay. So if Bitcoin doesn't go down at all, then sure, then yeah, they can. Yes,
No. Bitcoin is now institutionally accepted. Up until January of this year, these morons were still saying it's for drug dealers. Like the market has changed. What are you talking about? You sound stupid.
Okay, I'm stupid.
I don't know. It's sort of retarded, David. I think a lot of things have sort of changed, David. I don't know.
A little bit. You got the fucking president talking about a strategic reserve.
Like, a lot has changed.
Those are all reasons why Bitcoin doesn't crash. It doesn't mean that if Bitcoin crashes, MicroStrategy is able to continue rolling this debt, which is what British just said they were going to be able to do. And I'm saying I disagree with that.
So let's say, okay, all right, let's play that through, right? So let's say MicroStrategy, just say Bitcoin crashes, right? Another 80%. So firstly, we have to accept that you believe that, right? And there is a case scenario where it's going to crash 80%. But let's just imagine that it does, right? And you're a holder of MicroStrategy. So now MicroStrategy is going to suffer even more, right? So what do you do in that scenario? Well, you do the same things that you're going to do with your fucking Bitcoin, right? You just hold it. You hold the position. Or is there any other magical stuff that you should do? No one's saying that no one that owns MSTR is saying that if Bitcoin goes down, MSTR is going to continue to go up. Everyone understands that it's...
Everyone understands that they're correlated. What people are claiming is that they'll be able to continue to acquire more Bitcoin per share, even in that scenario, and that's what I'm disputing. It didn't happen last time. They had to go into a holding pattern. They weren't able to, and it ended up trading below the NAV. And so I think it's entirely possible that happened.
So the worst case scenario is that, right? Now, what's the medium case scenario, and what's the best case scenario? Well, the best case scenario is they can continue issuing convertible bonds during that period. That's the best case, right? So what's the medium case? The medium case is they can't do as much, right? It's probably not going to be as bad as you think. It's probably not going to be as good as I think, right? And it's probably going to be similar. So if they can issue $2 billion a quarter, right? It's still pretty good. It's not as much as what they can do now.
Right, and if they can't, and they have to issue a bunch of equity, and it is below the NAV in order to be able to pay this off, then they will actually go down in terms of Bitcoin holdings. That is entirely possible.
They're not.
I don't think they're going to sell the Bitcoin, but I do think they would put out more equity, and then the Bitcoin per share.
But they already have to do that in order to pay the interest, and the interest on it is half a percent. And it's covered by their business revenues.
What is their business revenues?
500 mil a year.
500 million fucking year. Good money.
Like, I don't understand this. Like, it's silly. Like, it's a silly conversation. I mean, David, do you think that there's going to... What do you think is the probability of another 80% drawdown in Bitcoin at this point going forward?
I don't know. 30%?
No, if you're making that 30%. So now there's a 30% chance that what you're saying is going to happen to MicroStrategy, right? So hedge for that. Maybe you get to a certain point and you buy some put options just in case. Right? It's very simple. Let's say you believe in the power law, right? You believe it gets to 200,000, you say it's going to refresh that, right? So you go and you buy some put options on MicroStrategy at that point. Protect your downside for whatever level you want to protect it. You know, there's other things that are in play now too. Like if you look at what's going on with MSTY, that's very interesting because how many people, I was doing it for months, right? How many people are going to sit here and use MSTR as volatility to generate income? That was going to require speculation on the underlying asset, which also reduces the volatility to the downside in a market like that. So let's just have real conversations. Like everyone sounds like, okay, so do you think Bitcoin's going to go up, because of a strategic reserve? In that scenario, does MSTR go down or does it go up? Does the volatility increase? Does the volatility go down?
Yeah, no, I'm in the trade. I agree. I just disagree with this idea that they are not likely to have issues in a bear market. They are likely to have issues in a bear market. I don't know that we'll have a huge bear or whatever. I just think that's
what
the
is
thing
the
that
extent?
people
What is
should
the
just
extent of those issues?
be transparent about. That's what I said. I think ultimately they trade below the NAV. They issue. You just said that they were going to be able to issue it at 1.5% convertible bonds. That was your claim.
That's what no. If you hear what I said, what I said was they'll refi the debt. And if they need to refi the debt at 1.5%, they'll be able to do that.
And I'm saying they will not because they weren't able to in the last bear market.
Dumb.
But they also didn't have to.
But that's silly. They didn't have to refi the debt in the last bear market.
Yeah, I know. That's what I just said. But it's not. I mean, it's issuing new convertible offerings. The appeal of the convertible offerings is the Bitcoin bull market. I get there's the volatility, etc. I don't think they'll be able to continue to issue convertible bonds at 0% in a bear market.
Those traders are not buying bonds because of Bitcoin bull market.
I'm trying to explain this to people.
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big.
I'm 100% sober, Crickson.
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big content creator one day. But
I can tell you sober. I know
they could care less. The buyers of the bonds, convertible bonds, hedge immediately both ways.
Please don't scroll.
About Bitcoin's.
Andrew, David basically said that nothing's really changed in the market between last year and this year, even though BlackRock's
I'd say nothing's changed in the market. Don't put words in my mouth. I explicitly said what you said. You said they can for sure issue the debt at 1.5%.
David, if you're thinking that the only reason they buy it is because Bitcoin goes up,
you reframed what I said.
You changed what you said after I started questioning you. You did change what you said after.
No,
but before, you said they definitely could at 1.5%.
I said, if you've got a 0.5% debt, right? And let's say you enter a period where Bitcoin's in an extended bear market, that's what I said, right? Could they refi the debt? Maybe they can't refi it at 0.5%. They can absolutely refi it at 1.5%.
Trade houses attack.
Yeah, I don't think that we know that.
I just want to say the important thing to remember is if you refi the debt, don't refi it in seed oils.
Wow. Anyway, the funniest part about what you said is that nothing's really changed with the evolution of Bitcoin going from for drug dealers before January 11th to now the president of the United States saying we're going to launch a strategic reserve.
I didn't say nothing has changed. I didn't say. I said that I don't think MSTR will be able to continue to issue convertible bond offerings if Bitcoin takes a dramatic downturn. I'm sure Jimmy will back you up because he's the one who framed it the same way that you are, but
I want to understand something. You think that the bonds, the convertible bonds that they're issuing are bought only because Bitcoin is going up?
Andrew, why do you think that MSTR did not issue any convertible bonds between June of 2021 and this year?
I appreciate a question to a question, but I'm trying to understand. So, do you think that the bonds that MicroStrategy is offering are only purchased because the buyers expect Bitcoin to go up?
I think it's more complicated than that. I think that if Bitcoin crashes significantly, there will not be
But I'm asking you a yes or no question.
No, I think there are other reasons, but I don't think that a major crash in Bitcoin would still continue to have those demands. That's what I'm saying. I think the demand will dry up in a major crash in Bitcoin. I'm not saying
No
it's
one's
purely.
saying that. No MSTR bull has ever said that.
Please
Every
don't scroll.
MSTR bull
I'm just
understands
trying to become
that
a big
the
content
underlying
creator one day,
implication is
but I
that
have no
Bitcoin
supporters.
is driving
So
the volatility of MSTR. So, yeah, would it go down? Sure. Is it going to freeze up now that BlackRock's standing behind everything? I doubt it. So you have to judge the probabilities of that and then make an allocation that allows you to stay
please don't
happy.
scroll. Please don't
Trey,
scroll.
what the fuck have you got in your PTR?
Hello, friends. Today, we're gonna do all things watermelon.
There's only one thing in this
All right,
world.
so Andrew, any answer to the question I asked before? Or do you think because BlackRock and the president are around, things are good?
That looks like David.
It's Dave.
What is it, David?
Please don't scroll. Please don't
Why
scroll.
didn't MSTR issue any convertible bonds between June of 2021 and March of this year?
I don't know. When I go have dinner, I'll ask Michael. I'll tell you what he says.
It's very simple. They didn't do it because it wasn't a proven product. It is a proven product now. Why is it so complicated to understand that, David? If you think
So now you are saying they will be able to issue it through, like, I don't understand what your position even is, because you keep saying
what the
different
fuck?
things.
I don't
So you're
know.
saying what? They will be able to do it, but they won't be able to do as much as your position?
Yeah, they might not be able to do as much. Yeah, absolutely.
Is true or did you hear the last earnings call?
Yes.
All right. Was it recently that the Bitcoin that they required has become unencumbered?
That is probably, I don't remember when they actually issued. That's what they had to do, right? So they did issue, that happened in between those two pieces. So they decided to encumber the debt of the Bitcoin because they weren't able to keep doing these bond
They
issues.
had a very small amount. They had a particular debt offering that was a very small portion. I do remember that. And people were having a conniption that, you know, they would be called and they have to sell Bitcoin or whatever, but they just refied.
I'm just talking about
they paid that small portion that wasn't encumbered off. And that was quite a while ago.
Yeah, but no, it was the last one. It was literally the last one. It was like, hey, all of the Bitcoin that we have at that point was all unencumbered. It was at that point.
All it is right now unencumbered. Yeah.
Right?
But no, Jimmy, they did that a while ago. So yeah, yes, you're right. They're unencumbered.
It was literally the last call. Right? There was no more calls after that. Yeah.
I'll look up when they retired the debt issuance, but it was related to whatever one of those Silicon Valley banks was Silvergate who financed them or whatever, so they had to deal with it at that point. So it was not.
It wasn't the last. Literally what I said was that. The last call. But look, moving forward, if these guys had to prove this business model, it was proven rather recently and confirmed in the last earnings call that hey, we went through this, we got debt, we acquired Bitcoin, and we paid the debt back. Trial done. Now let's execute at scale, and we're seeing this in real time. So as you're saying, well, why did this happen between 2021 and now? I don't think they can start at scale without proving this. Just being pragmatic about it.
I think that there's some of that, and maybe there were some regulatory filings to get ready for that, or one of those things. Like I'm not entirely sure, and it doesn't really matter.
Or maybe there was BlackRock that was missing.
Yeah, something.
Right? Like, are we acting like BlackRock standing behind Bitcoin doesn't open up all these markets? Really? That's the position we want to take. David.
We're not taking that position.
David doesn't seem to think that the addition of BlackRock and they're
So
standalone.
in March of 2023, MicroStrategy repays $205 million Bitcoin collateralized loan in full at 22% discount, requires additional. So they stopped being encumbered March of 23.
You said they acquired more Bitcoin at that point.
Well, because they got more money too. They probably issued equity or something like that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
They
talking about.
paid out. No, this was March of 23.
I know, but we're talking about the last. They were still buying Bitcoin. So like, that's why all I'm saying is.
So where did they get? So David, where did they
But
get
it wasn't encumbered.
the question you were asking? Where did they get the money from, David? You said why did they do it up in between these years, and you have now told us that they did it in between those years. So where'd the money come?
No, I didn't. I said they haven't issued convertible bonds. They somehow paid off that debt. My guess is they issued equity, which is the point that I was.
For my Duke and my friend.
David, do you have a long position in MicroStrategy or a short position?
I have a long position in MicroStrategy.
Is it sized appropriately that you can sleep at night if it all goes to zero?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Excellent.
This simple indicator can turn you into a profitable trader in 8 weeks, even if you don't have time to.
David just doesn't like you, Rick.
No.
I love British. I don't like.
I think he just doesn't like brown people.
Warships. Tricking people into trading is fucking crazy, David.
You're talking to me after I was a fucking MSDR, a bear, for so long? To trick people into trades? Yeah, that's fucking retarded, David.
I don't think we care if anyone else goes on this trade. It's not going to change anything for us.
I know.
You're a little saucy today, David. What's going on, man?
Can you admit that was a poor choice of words right there? Tricking people into a trade.
I think implying that they will be able to continue doing exactly what they're doing through the bear market is retarded. I think that you add caveats when people push you on it, but I think in general, whatever. I
haven't had any caveat. I said it's a scale, right? They're going to be able to borrow money. Depending on what scale it's at, we'll find out. If Bitcoin goes down into an extended bear market, the capital available to them is going to go down.
How can you be so sure the
Is it going to go to zero? I don't know.
Do you think people are being lied to and misled, and the narrative that is being used is
They
that,
may be
hey
curious.
man,
Get on my
totally
side of the
stays
story,
during a
don't you
bear
think?
market, bro.
I am
Even during
Paul
a bear
the
market.
Trade, the son of Leto.
Search infinite money glitch on Twitter and see what.
We were just
What
talking
did I
about
just
how
say
much
when
we
I came
hated
into the
it.
room?
We were
The great houses
talking about
attacked.
how much we
I
hated
literally
it.
said that needs to go away.
Spice fields.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that people aren't being lied to. That is happening, right? People are saying that. I didn't say you said that. I said that.
Look, it didn't come from Michael Saylor. It didn't come from us.
David, what's the play for you tonight? Are you here to just pick fights because you're pissed about something else?
Alright, I'm PMSing. Whatever.
You'll be lucky to keep
Have a
your
good night, y'all.
David, just let people enjoy the infinite money glitch. I'm not in it either. I'm just here and watching it fun for me. You just go on a side of it.
I'm in the trade. I've said I am. The only thing I'm saying is that in a bear market, things will be weird. I don't get why everyone's so.
Oh, you said a lot of things. You said a lot of things, David. You're like
You said this man, Bridges Hoddle is on YouTube tricking niggas into trades.
You did say that, yeah.
I didn't actually say that. I did imply it.
No, you did say that.
British asked, why am I making this point? I said the reason I'm making this point is because I don't like people being tricked into trades. I didn't say he is the one who's tricking people into trades. I think in general, the market information that people are getting on Twitter is pretty bad. Most people think there is an infinite money glitch. I'm not saying that's what people in this room believe in particular. That's where the tricking people into a trade is coming from, though.
What is going on here that people say one thing, but everybody hears a different thing?
Andrew, are you really having dinner with Michael Saylor?
Yeah.
I need a blade. Except it's amazing what happens when you make friends that also like protect Philippe's son.
Yeah.
You watch niggas are losers.
Andrew, you should get one of the widgets that I'm trying. By the way, I tried asking the CEO if I could buy the one he had. He told me no.
I'm not gonna tell Michael Saylor to buy a.
No. I'm saying you can flex on him. You can flex on him.
I'm not going there to flex at all.
Flex on these hoes, Andrew.
Well, no, you can't do it at this dinner anyway. The production slot is in the summer. This would have to be some later.
Okay.
Flex on them hoes.
It's not necessarily a flex on him, but
you missed a lot of spice, Playboy.
Yo, what was going down?
You missed the firework. It was David. It was
saucy as hell
heavyweight
tonight.
David Short against welterweight British Hollow. It was a big boxing match, man.
About MSTR?
both of us are probably heavyweights these days.
Yeah, so David says British is tricking niggas into trades, Playboy.
Direct quote, obviously.
British had no response. He was against the rope. Almost knocked out.
But don't worry, Jimmy and Andrew were here to protect him. Otherwise, it's just so difficult. I'm being so saucy and aggressive, and I must be drunk. Oh my God! Who?
Listen, I think British was wrong on the option shit in 21, but I don't think he's wrong about this one. You know what I mean?
And by the way,
Literally the only thing I'm saying is I don't think they'll be able to issue convertible debt and then bear market. That's it. That's my entire.
well, no, that's not what you said. We'll forget that for now.
We will see what happens. But yeah, I mean, it's not unreasonable for them to.
Game since BlackRock came in, like nothing's changed since a year ago.
Yeah, that was his position. He said, David said, exact words, and I shit you not. 2021's coming back, baby.
Certified, 100%. Yeah.
You know, there's a very different future over the next year with the SBR and without the SBR. I mean, that SBR is, if that goes through, it's like...
Oh, yeah. There's no bear market.
Yeah. It's hyper bullish. But if we don't get it, I don't know, we're probably still clear to like 300, 400.
What you mean, what?
The SPR.
Strategic Bitcoin Reserve.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know you niggas gave it an acronym.
Oh, yeah, we got acronyms, bro. Green. Get the money, you know what I'm saying? SPR rule everything around me.
So this is what do you think? Is it, are we going to go up on the announcement, or do they actually have to begin buying? I think the announcement.
The announcement, if it passes, it'll start pumping like crazy.
Yeah, exactly. If it passes, it's done. The execution could take whenever, but it's done. It's coming. You know it.
The markets will front run it. Yeah.
By the way, did you guys see that Punter Jeff's analysis? Is that
if you're a business owner and you're not
accepted
running ads on YouTube, you are missing the single easiest way to get leads.
It's going to add about $400 to the value of each MSTR share.
Yeah, I saw that, and I did. Right, I saw that. I said I don't know about that math, but then I was like, I want to believe, so I didn't look into it.
It's too good to fact check.
I saw math about the inflows.
What happens is this. When we are regular in meditation, We are exposing our nervous system to regular hours of
I can't remember, to
deep
be honest.
rest. Regular hours of deep rest.
I mean, obviously, inclusion is very bullish for them, and most people who seem to track these things seem to think inclusion is guaranteed after the snapshot the other day. So we're bullish on inclusion, and if inclusion happens, then we're bullish MSCR, you know. So also,
Why do people say it's guaranteed?
So when we meditate morning and
because
evening,
they already did the
apart
snapshot.
from the physiological
And
changes, the body gets regulated.
so, Andrew, when they did the snapshot on Black Friday yesterday, and it met all of the qualifications, which is why people are saying it's guaranteed.
Environmental influence is maximum.
So it would have to be something arbitrary and capricious for them to not include it.
It's a private corporation.
Well, no, I know, that's what I'm saying. But also, the Qs love volatility, you know? And MSCR is going to bring them a lot of traders. So I think they're going to be...
They're happy with that. There's no reason not to.
I know we're all a little gun shy as Bitcoiners because we don't trust TradFi, but I think I think the inclusion is going to happen.
Another analysis that I found really fucking interesting was apparently inclusion in these ETFs makes these bond offerings like rated like an A rating or something like that because huge deal.
Because it's part of the Qs, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, no, that's the whole point. Johnson was talking about this.
Get into the Qs. I saw something that said that because it's considered a financial play,
that's bullshit.
Yeah,
No.
It's something David.
NASDAQ has it listed.
Considered also.
NASDAQ has it listed on their website as a software company. So no, not true. But Jimmy, the thing that was the thing that Johnson was talking about like a few weeks ago when we were discussing this was that when they get into the indexes, the quality of their credit and the quality of their debt goes up tremendously, which is a big deal. So they have even more access to these.
I think, David, that sort of addresses, or at least like when you're thinking about what could potentially happen in the bear market, that's something that you should factor. Like if the company is in these indexes, their credit rating goes through the roof, and they might be able to, get debt at even more favorable terms by virtue of being a part of these indexes.
I don't think that's how those things work exactly, but yeah, obviously, path flows is a thing for sure. So,
Private club, baby.
I don't like your attitude, David. Fuck you.
Hey,
What's the thing now?
The credit rating is not determined by whether you're part of the QQ. It's just not.
Hey, bring David Long in here. That's who I want to talk to.
Yeah.
This David Short guy.
I am long, I was.
Bring David Long in here.
I got about a 2% off.
Pretty good. You should increase that to 5. Just go. I was at 5 and then it grew to 10. And then I was like, oh shit, this is bullish. And then I increased it to 20. Just felt right.
Yeah, and I did kind of the same thing. It was 0.5% grew to 1, and then I put in more, so it became 1.5, and then that. And that's while
if MSCR works
too. So yeah, it has been outperforming Bitcoin in the short term.
I mean, dude, if MSCR works, it's going to be wild because it's going to eat into our Bitcoin portfolios. If it doesn't work, we're not risking that much. Bitcoin will still be fine no matter what happens. That's, by the way, these are my new favorite, bears, the people who are fucking, if MSCR goes down, Bitcoin's going down too. It's that's not how that works, stupid. Maybe for a little bit, sure. insufferable on this, which he's always insufferable. So like, but Jason Calacanis, absolutely insufferable.
Wait, is she bearish on it? Is she bearish?
Oh, so bearish.
Yeah, he's ringing the alarm bell on it.
I did have FOMO before, but now I'm starting.
Now we have a lot of Bitcoin from $100. It's no longer his wife's Bitcoin. It's our Bitcoin now. But despite that, he's still very suspicious.
You know what's so annoying is that those old tweets of him talking crazy about Bitcoin was dumb.
Fucking crazy.
And then now all of a sudden he wants to like, oh, but I could just own my own keys and buy Bitcoin. Why would I need shut the fuck up?
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You tell him, Jimmy, shut the fuck up. Don't come around here, nerd. These guys piss me the fuck off, bro. Because you know what it is? It's just this little cuck behavior of like, they want to have everything both ways. They want to be like, I hate Bitcoin and I love Bitcoin simultaneously. So no matter what's happening, I'm right. And it's like, oh, that shit annoys me. Dude, like, Peter Schiff is just wrong, right? He's been wrong for 13 years or whatever. That's fine. He's on the other side of the trade. We can make fun of him, whatever. At least he has the courage of his convictions. This fucking Jason guy where he plays both sides of the fence fucking pisses me the fuck off.
Fucking Silicon Valley. They're like, yeah, I was a super OG. I was in crypto in 2011, 2012, but, you know, I don't know about Bitcoin anymore.
I don't know. You guys probably don't, like, you know, trust the subject matter experts like Vinny Lingham.
Dude, he calls Vinny Lingham a subject matter expert. Vinny Lingham knows less than everyone in this room. Everyone in this room.
Vic is the room's expert on Vicky Lingham. Can you please?
These fuckers all play poker together now. They all just fucking regurgitate bullshit that fucking salami and food charges. But they're on their hands up Vicky's ass, Vinny's hands up Jason's ass, and Jason's hands up Toronto.
It's a human centipede of retarded faggotry. No, I understand.
I actually respect Chamath though.
Chamath is fine. David Sachs is fine.
No.
I'm just saying that that's the order of operations for their influence about this subject, because they're all LPs in each other's funds like that.
No, Chamath is still
Interesting. The hierarchy of the advance of it.
Chamath definitely fucked up Bitcoin. But he didn't fuck it up as bad as Jason. By the way, I was looking at Jason's net worth online. It's way less than a bunch of people I know in Bitcoin. So I was like,
which Jason?
Jason Calacanis.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
His net worth is about 110 million. And it's like, bro, congrats on Uber. You could have gotten way richer off of Bitcoin. Way richer.
One startup win and multiple failures.
Yeah, they don't list their failures. They will. What did he get? What did he do? Invest $10,000 in Uber, and he's just saying
Uber. Yeah, he was Sequoia. He was a Sequoia scout, so he got the Sequoia money into Uber, and he got a piece through that.
But he had an exit. He did like a newsletter in New York early on as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. So
Silicon Valley WAG or whatever.
He's basically like marketing. He sold this weblogs or some sort of blog thing to AOL, and then AOL went to shit.
He's like the Dennis Porter of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, I don't trust the online net worth calculations. Sometimes they don't have everything.
Oh yeah, it's. I'm sure it's not accurate, but that sounds about right from what we do know about it. But how much Bitcoin did his wife buy at 100? Like, if that's part of his net worth, then maybe he does settle.
I don't trust those online calculators either, but I saw a bunch of them, and those were the ranges, and that was the highest one that anybody had said. So I was like, I'm being the most charitable by picking the highest. A lot of those online net worth calculators just go off lifetime earnings, you know, which is not because obviously you don't know how the person's investing their money. So lifetime earnings don't mean.
I got to dig up the live streams of him at BlockCon, I want to say 2017.
He's a bad
So it was the
hombre.
keynote, and I think he was talking some shit on Bitcoin there, and I haven't seen anyone circulate it yet.
That little bitch. Go find it. Go find it. I'll fucking post it. It's not enough that this guy admits he was wrong. He needs to grovel. He needs to grovel at our fucking feet.
Let's just see the thermometer. You are warm. Where is it?
What is going on?
I don't know, somebody on Clubhouse was
Mustard.
Jason said Michael Saylor's going to come on his podcast Monday or Wednesday.
Oh, nice. I wish Sailor would light him up, but I know he won't.
Well, it depends, because, Jason is probably going to try to go after him, so he probably will, but he'll do it subtly, right?
Yeah, exactly. It'll be subtle.
Andrew, would you be able to find out if what Michael thinks of Paul Allen's straddle launch? The late Paul Allen's straddle launch?
You know what's wild is, don't know. Sailor was worth 5 times more than Jason is today before Bitcoin.
Yeah. Michael Saylor actually built something.
Michael, does that piss you off when people that didn't quote unquote build anything are wealthier than?
He's old. So, no. I would be like, would you... This is fucking retarded. I'm obviously going to be richer than Jason. And I'm fucking strong and I'll never have such low T levels. Fucking loser. And it's like...
What the hell's in everybody's water today?
Yeah, I don't know why Bruce tried to trigger me. It's just a retarded question.
British, are you implying that
No,
Michael...
listen, it does fucking trigger me. Because that's a fucking fiat world. Do you not get the whole Bitcoin fixes everything? if the allocation of capital worked perfectly under fiat and we had pure capitalism and measurement and pricing of things, you wouldn't fucking need Bitcoin now, would you? So we actually agree.
Does it kind of mean that you really don't know what value creation is? Could that be it?
Yes,
has no clue what creating value.
Maybe I need to take one of your courses, British, on value creation and trading.
Are you mad that you tried to trade like this nigga in 2021 got?
I didn't get wrecked. I paid for insurance. And in paying for insurance, I was able to be insured the entire time.
So you got wrecked in your airplane, in your airbag.
Well, here's the thing. You guys can value degeneracy and live like your fiat people, like parasites who are thoughtless, or you can aspire for greatness and understand what Bitcoin brings to the world. Great, British. You would have loved to be a king living in squalor.
Michael, are you trolling now, or are you like flipping between some kind of two personalities?
He's being trolled. He's dead ass. He's floating between being trolled and trying to troll. That's what's going on.
Okay.
The problem is Michael can't control his
Because British is not a serious person. He doesn't have serious things to say. He just trolls. That's right. Glad you admitted it.
Michael Shapiro has no clue what value actually is in this world. And that's why he's always frustrated that nobody would give him money. And he doesn't want to learn.
British, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you love fiat so much? You want to pretend? That's like saying to someone whose children were raped and murdered, like, oh, there's nothing wrong with pedophiles.
Well, how is that like?
And you're just go up to them and be like, oh, you think this is a problem that, the Clintons or whoever runs pedophiles? Oh, this bothers you, this triggers.
Michael, this makes about as much sense as loss absorption.
Michael, what is your name right now?
Michelangelo. Never go full Roger.
But the thing is, British, do you aspire to be like some sort of fiat parasite? That's like, you would have loved that world without Bitcoin. You would have loved.
What is your name?
Banker.
Michael, can you tell me your name so I can address you properly?
You can call me Michael. No, you know that.
You never know. Could be having an episode, Playboy.
No, seriously, like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? I mean,
what the hell is we doing? What the fuck do we do?
I love you, Mike.
You want to keep living in a shit world? Fucking retards.
Because we don't want to invest in Michael Shapiro's businesses. We want to live in a shit world.
No, it's not you. It's what you wish the world is like. Dude, don't be such a fucking retard. Dude, you can't fucking invest, British. You're too fucking stupid. You have no ability to discern things. You have this financial play, but in terms of being a captain of industry, shaping industries, no. You're going to shut the fuck up when you're rich, and you're just going to hodl, and you'll be a billionaire and enjoy your yachts and private jet, but you're going to have absolutely nothing to say, and you'll be humble.
Sounds like a great life.
It is. Honestly, I think it's wonderful for you and everyone. You can shut the fuck up and have a great life. And it'll be a better life because you won't have the stress of having to malinvest.
Michael's going to be saving the world, and we're going to be sitting back on the fucking beach saying, you know what? I used to talk to that guy on this app called Clubhouse.
So British. So what you said? So British just has a mere financial play and he's not a captain of industry like you. Shamira? Are you a captain of industry?
Don't make him self-reflect, Jimmy. It's gonna set him off. He's gonna spiral off.
I think British is just triggered by people who actually make real value, because British knows he's added no value to the world other than hodling, and he made his wealth scamming people. He knows that. Like British, no one here is attacking you. You're allowed basically into polite society. But then
right after he pulls the knife out.
No one's
attacking you.
Oh wow!
What is going on tonight? Is the moon
With
out?
blood on the knife.
Are the planets lined up in some triangle?
You would be biased, Andrew, with your last name. That is what you would want.
I just want clarity from Shapiro. So British is, the premise is he's created no value. Have you created value, Shapiro? Have you created value as opposed to British? Huh?
No.
No? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Oh, so British no.
I've created value. I've built actual
British no, he just has a financial play. You, yes, you've created it, and you're a captain of industry.
Captain of industry is probably the trajectory I'm on. I'm certainly not there yet.
He's just got to sell enough of those $10,000 carbon fiber triangle things.
British, you're being a fucking faggot.
British, I just want to let you know.
Andrew.
No one's attacking you.
Andrew. Michael's on Twitter right now trying to sell that shit to 4 people like he was doing the other night in here.
Who are trying to get it to buy, Michael?
He actually wanted everybody to
enjoy your protected. Enjoy your simulacrum of performance. Like I said, this little corner of the world where things are done well, you can just circle jerk over it and pretend you appreciate nice things.
So the Patek watch is not a nice thing. Your titanium
Not
triangle
when
is a nice thing.
not when it does cope. Not when its purpose is to distract from the ugliness of the rest of the world.
With your titanium triangle, it solves that.
It's a satellite bracket, Jimmy.
Bitcoin fixes everything. And I don't know why you people don't seem to understand that. Or, like British even said, raise your fucking standards. Seriously.
Bitcoin is fixing Michael Shapiro right now because everyone would rather buy MSTR than invest in Michael's company.
There is no more investment. Like I said, non-profit research institution. It's above your wealth tier, British.
So you're also absorbing losses.
100% loss. Non-profit research institution. That's right. That's how
This nigga absorbed so many losses, and he says,
Full circle. Where's Christopher? Get your ass up here.
Nigga set up 501c3, guys. Can't even prompt this niggas to return no more. He says, yo, we're just doing this for the community, guys.
Yo, he was out here scamming me, bro. He was like, you guys want a satellite bracket? But I don't even have a satellite, so the fuck do I know, Michael? The fuck do I know?
I heard you worked at Blockstream, but you got
difference between the Bitcoiners and the shitcoiners, because you guys are basically the same tier garbage as the Andreessens or any of the Richard Hart.
Shapiro, you don't think that transition is nuts?
Like, why are you guys so, at least British and Jimmy, why are you guys so much poorer than Richard Hart? You're certainly degenerate enough. You could have been him. Why not? Why'd you fuck it up, my boy?
Bro.
That Playboy was fired, Michael.
That was a bar.
That was pretty good.
Get his name. Get his name. This is a different personality. I wish we recorded these rooms. There was a trigger.
You won that round,
Doing
Michael.
seance in here.
What is your name?
We need some kind of spiritual advice to do a seance in here. Michael is fucking possessed, right?
So I looked it up. Mercury is in retrograde, everyone. That
Oh shit, Mercury and Gatorade confirmed.
If y'all didn't run Rico off, you guys be getting those updates, babe.
What did you say, Rodrigo?
I said if you didn't run Rico off, you'd get the updates on the constellations and the moon.
Doesn't TA have moon cycles or something?
I don't know, Andrew Moon. This is your subject matter expertise.
That's true.
Michael's own ideas about Bitcoin are going to stop people investing in his ideas. That's fucking wild. Talk about poetic justice.
We'll probably find out within next month and a half whether Adam Back agrees with my thesis. Was presented to him when he was in in your recent conference.
Wait,
Michael,
you went to Lugano? That's dope. I didn't know you were in Lugano.
Someone else told him about it on my
Hold on, I got a question. Michael, did you get upset, or what the hell happened to you when you heard that I'm going to go have dinner with Michael Saylor?
No, that didn't upset me. No, it was the thing British said. I hope you have a nice dinner.
Why do you let me trigger you so much, Michael? Like, why am I in your head so much?
Because I have to operate on just situational material data, because the whole deception thing, I'm not as good as it. So yeah, I basically, sociopaths probably have an edge over me. I'm cognizant of that, so I can work around that to some extent. If you look into autism traits, you remember maybe the thing with Jack and Naib not being there. That was basically me dropping things, omitting things, so that the truth could come out, because it made me very uncomfortable. So when you say things, whatever the things you say, I still process them as if you believe them, and I can't always figure out whether you actually believe things or don't believe them. So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really even matter either way at this point, whether you believe the things or don't believe them.
British, he said if you worked at MicroStrategy, he'd be interested in buying the stock.
That's true. I was even being nice to you. I was serious. You thought I was being sarcastic. That was another.
He thought he was being sarcastic. I think that's what it was. When you get some sourness for kindness, and you're a little Aspergery.
He said he's gonna do a 0.05% allocation.
Fuck you,
That's pretty
Prince.
fucking
I didn't
sarcastic.
fucking see the number.
That's even smaller than Tidwell's, 0.01%.
You saying Michael is smaller than Tidwell?
Yeah, Michael is smaller than Michael.
Oh, it's Playboy.
The comment I made to Andrew about dinner, Andrew, the thing I said was, if you'd inquire about the Paul Allen Strata Lunch thing, which might not be a good opportunity, but just sort of planted that idea because that seemed like the sort of thing that maybe could get brought up. That was all. And that was my only
Yeah,
comment.
if space comes up, we'll check.
And I'm just curious if that's something he's thinking about at all, because I've always thought the fact that he lists aerospace, MIT, on his Twitter bio, and I think he's even mentioned in different interviews the aerospace engineering background, even though I didn't really work much in that field, which I don't know if at all. It has some importance to him. I don't know what importance. And of course, there's like the safety and the other tropes about stagnation in aerospace, so it would be interesting if he has any thoughts in that area. And I mentioned Paul Allen as a tie-in of an example of someone who made a lot of money in one area and then decided he wanted to impact aviation and aerospace, not just rocketry. So maybe Michael has, in terms of what he would view as some sort of role model of, hey, I could do that too. It'd be interesting to know. Or maybe he's just purely focused on Bitcoin. I'm not sure though, because look, I know with certainty I know what's going to happen because there fucking is no one else. There is no one else. So and now I'm not asking Andrew
no one else for what?
To do who has the background of understanding Bitcoin and physical technologies. There's no one else in Bitcoin pitching anything like I am. So it's inevitable that Bitcoiners, when they want to actually make industrial changes in aerospace advanced technology, it will go through me. I'm a choke point. So I'm not going to get triggered because it's no longer a question of my mind.
You don't sound triggered at all.
It's a question of when.
You don't sound triggered.
No, I'm not going to pretend I'm not triggered. I am triggered because here's the thing: I'm still going to die.
You are triggered, or you're not triggered? You're not going to get triggered. Michael,
well, okay, there's different levels to being triggered. Yes. Yeah. So what I'm saying is,
on the scale of 1 to 10, hold on, Michael. On the scale of 1 to 10, how triggered are you by me right now?
You know, I try to live in the moment, so I can embrace being triggered and let it be a motivator and a reminder that
I'm glad I'm motivated to you, but how triggered are
like
you?
Like a 6.6, I would say today.
I was there with Tony Strickland.
I think it's a point.
I was there with Tony Strickland at the Vinny Pastor. We were at a table, and the other table was the captain, maybe the Colombo. Tony knew the guy, and the guy comes over and said, you know, I can show you the real way how to strangle someone with a piano wire. I was there with Tony Strickland.
I was just joking. I was just saying it because it was funny. I always believed in Michael, and I was rooting for him. That's what
he is just joking, Michael. He does believe in you. Relax. We all fuck with you, brother.
I'd like to timestamp this. What day is it? It is November 30th, 2024, when Jimmy Tucson said that he not one bit of told him that he was ever going to be here.
Well, he's okay with that, Playboy.
What else does Jimmy say?
one that's intelligent knows to do everything that they suggest. Like I break every rule, and I still get the same results. Despite talking shit and telling everybody to suck my dick, still tend to get things done.
I'm so glad that Trump is putting Indians in like the important positions, because can you imagine if it was like a bunch of Michaels? But he looked at you to say, hey, do you want one? It doesn't matter if you don't want it, no one wanted to give it to you. No one wanted to give it to you. What's going on? Are we at 619 yet?
Take a tip from British. Take a tip from British. You want the Indian CEO.
6195.
It's just silly. It's not even an insult.
Michael, you need the Indian CEO. You need to go in. We can make this work. We're the best leaders.
Yeah, people are saying what happens if Michael Saylor dies. British will take it.
Hey, Brittany, are you there? I wanted to talk to you about starting. Can you go in just one time? DB the room? Just right there. All right.
These people are having a religious fucking they settle it like good people. Let's get these religious fucking fights back up. They are stupid as soon as they stop.
To Syria now. Today, rebels seized control over the country's second largest city, Aleppo. The anti-government fighters burned the Syrian flag outside the city's ancient citadel. Their rapid advance ignites a new phase of the country's long-running civil war.
Andrew, when are you going?
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big content creator one. Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big content creator one day, but I have no supporters. So if you have the chance, please subscribe. Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to...
Yo, Jimmy,
know him at all. So maybe you are wrong and he's a lovely human being. But we're all reflecting. Listen to me. The only thing we have is what you have told us. So if you're getting a uniform response from people, it's because of the way you see him, not because of the way we would see him.
What, do you think I'm portraying him in a negative light?
I'm saying I don't know, but to accuse anyone you don't even know him is weird because you are choosing the parts of him that we see. I think
I read for you all the text messages.
I think it's not true. I think he does not want an Orthodox woman. I think he's never. Okay, I don't think he's ever lived. I am sure he said many things. He also told you he wants to get into bed with you and have sex. Does that happen? No. Does he want an Orthodox woman? No. Has he lived an Orthodox life? No. Do you know how hard it is to live an Orthodox life? You do. Does he? No, this is all nonsense. So, okay, yeah, why? There are no Orthodox synagogues available where he lives. He lives in the tri-state area. So it's all nonsense. It's not true.
He lives in South Jersey.
Exactly. So when
No,
this is all not true. The guy's having a very rough time. He's living in la la land like we all do in order to get through a difficult time. None of this is true. The chances of him wanting to live an Orthodox lifestyle are zero because if he wanted to be living it, he'd be living it. He's not living it. This is not what he wants. This is Fractal's idea of what he wants.
No.
Yes.
I read for all.
Then why is he not going to an Orthodox shul right now, where he'd meet Orthodox people?
Why would I police someone else's religion?
Why would he not be living in an Orthodox life if he wanted an Orthodox life?
Because he wants to live here in South Jersey.
In South Jersey, there are Orthodox synagogues.
Yeah, Lakewood Yeshiva is one of the largest.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's talking about. He doesn't want to live an Orthodox life. What is with you? There are plenty of Jews who do not want to live an Orthodox life. It so happens you met a lot of Jews on Clubhouse who are either Orthodox or we have warm feelings towards Orthodoxy. Most Jews don't. Like, you have a weird sample. You're looking at this right now, and they're either people who are Orthodox or
like I told you, he's only been Jewish for 2 years.
Right. So he thinks many things, but one thing he hasn't done is moved near an Orthodox community to be Orthodox. He does not want to be Orthodox. You're making that up. He'll marry some person if he marries a woman who's open and maybe have a very different kind of life. But this fantasy you have, okay, but this fantasy of him settling down with an Orthodox woman, I hope it's from you and not from him. That's all I have to say, because that would be weird. And
no. That is what he said to me a few weeks ago.
Okay, I'm going to start without all the rest of it. If you want to be Orthodox, then you don't go to a Reformed temple, right? You understand that, right?
I don't know anything about that.
Well, you do know about that. If you want to be Shia, do you go to a Sunni temple?
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay. Can you imagine me in a Reformed temple? I wouldn't even know what the liturgy is because it's all piecemeal together from sources that have nothing to do with the traditional ones, right? So if he's at a Reformed synagogue and that boy has been to Israel and knows what things are, if he wanted to be Orthodox, he'd be going to an Orthodox synagogue. And the same way you are painstakingly going through how to read text with other people right now, that is what he would be doing. He is not doing that because he doesn't want to, and that is fine, but you're the one who has some issue with it. He doesn't want to be Orthodox. I don't really know what the issue is.
Wait, hold on a second. How do any of us know anything about him other than what I'm telling you? And
I'm telling you, if you want to be Shia, you go to a Shia temple. If you want to be Sunni, you go to a Sunni temple. If you live in the tri-state area and do not settle down and go to an Orthodox synagogue,
we live in South Central New Jersey.
He's a single person, and within half an hour of his work are several Orthodox communities. He has a choice of Orthodox communities. It is not like he is stuck in, Milwaukee, where there are a few. He literally lives within a half an hour of his work are several Orthodox communities. He's not there because he doesn't want to be. And that should be an okay choice that you come to terms with. Like, this is not normal what you're saying. It's just not normal.
I'm not talking about any of this. I'm just telling you how he said he feels like he's done experimenting. He doesn't want to be with men anymore. He wants to find a woman to have kids with.
Wonderful. So
he's fooling you also.
What do you mean he's fooling you?
He's fooling you.
He's fooling you too.
He very Henny, please. Jesus, why does this always have to be? Why am I always being interrupted? And why does this have to be so fucking dramatic? This is
because you giving too much credit to those who don't deserve the credit. We're trying to say, listen, boy, fucking second. Open your fucking head for a minute. We're all here for you. And you're the only one who's not there for yourself.
Yes, sir.
We're trying to save you from getting hurt.
Save him. Save him.
Because he's telling you like he's about to play a woman. There's a reason why he went on Grindr.
Tricky, that may be true.
That's not maybe. That's 1,000,000% true. That's not maybe.
Tricky, none of us know the full extent of what he's going through.
Listen, first rule.
Yes, Tricky.
In the military, when you have a doubt, you have no doubt.
When you have a doubt, you have no doubt. Right, that's right. Yes.
So there is no maybe. You're going to open an account on Grindr for one simple reason. To be fucked by a man. How to fuck it. And there is no politics for it when you say it. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So all of a sudden you're taking a step back? Really? Really? All of a sudden you flip it off and it's fun by a minute to go live an Orthodox life with purely Orthodox life. Which there is much more restriction than freedom for a person that coming from the outside. For a person that grew up in that, that's all he knows. So there is no problem. It's just a continuation of the childhood. And then the teenager time. And then the young man
I'm just
time.
trying to become
Whatever. But over here is about the dope and play.
Gandolfini was so fucking.
You're telling yourself stories.
I just took a little
Fuck
chill.
yourself.
No,
It was hard. I used to
That's exactly what you're doing.
I read for you the messages.
Which is completely bullshit.
Can I ask you something? A little token of my appreciation.
Let me tell you something.
Be here, I would have bought one
Tricky,
for you.
Tricky,
Let me teach you something. Let me teach you something.
Understand.
I'm almost 3 times on the way. Let me teach you something. That's all. There's no more. Keep it talking.
The man who
The
never
fingers and bones, but you should never get nothing. It's only some people
The only thing
that are the You didn't hear him say to understand what's standing behind the wall. You assuming what he meant to say.
Please don't scroll.
Because when
I'm just
somebody
trying to become a
clicking,
big content creator
you
one
don't
day.
know if
but
after he's pushed the sand, if he's doing
Please
all
don't
sorts of
scroll.
things.
I'm just trying to become a big content creator one day, but I have no supporters. So if you have the chance,
So it's
please
better
subscribe.
to respect and suspect. And not respect
Please don't
and
scroll.
respect and respect. Which that's what you're doing. Wake up.
Tricky, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I wish I could say I agree with you 100%. What I will say is it is very possible that he just simply doesn't want to have sex with me anymore, and that's okay. And I've already come to terms with that. Like in the back of my head, although I didn't want to say it out loud, because why do we need to be vulgar 24/7? Why do I need to be vulgar 24/7?
4.9 kilowatts
Like
power.
it's very likely that he's trying to backtrack out of it, but I don't necessarily want to.
هو كان ماشي على طريق صلاح الدين بشكل طبيعي واعتيادي زي ما بتمارس عمله يومي وبتحرك لشغله ولدوامه على المخازن وعلى المطابخ بشكل طبيعي يوميا بدون اي مشكله، وحتى لو كان في اي خطر مسبق بيكون هو مبلغ من ادارته، ما بتخش الطريق اللي فيها اي خطر او اي مشاكل. واليوم كان مطالب بشكل طبيعي الصبح على دوامه وعلى طريق صلاح الدين لم يتم استهدافه بدون اي سابق انذار وبدون اي سبب.
It's a kitchen.
Please don't scroll.
I've witnessed a miracle, and so I've been asking people, like, if I'm gonna dive in, what, like, I'm not Catholic, obviously, but like, where would I start? Because now, like, I have to admit there are miracles because Amari was hanging out in children instead of talking here. So that's.
I think I chose the right room. He chose the right room.
I got my prayers answered.
Wait.
So
You're cheating on us.
Hold on. There's people in apes that do not like me, including.
Of course they do, because they're atheists, Amari. Cora's the number one autistic atheist.
If you wanted it to be soft and sensitive, Amari, you could have
I'm not saying it's gotta be soft and sensitive, but there is people that just.
I would have been a little more gentle if you would have just said so.
I didn't say you gotta be gentle. I'm just saying. I'm just telling the truth, bro. I be telling the truth and y'all don't like it.
I feel like to
I'm not
act around a little bit.
I'm not going to get no. Here, no. Let me get it. Black, Mondo, Jeremy, Day Day. Most people don't go against what I'm trying to say, but there's
it's
some.
Okay, you're cheating on me. I get it.
I'm not cheating on you. What are you talking about?
That's doing this in front of company. Wow.
But when it comes to like Cora will never admit, like she will never just say, Amari, you right. I've never heard that.
So you need us to stroke your ego instead?
No, I'm not saying she don't got to do that.
You need us to stroke your ego soft.
Maybe. Be a good idea.
Oh. Well, you can tell us about what you're building.
Be part of the strength. Yeah.